The next time a woman says hello to you, I want you to stop listening to her words and start watching her biology. Because in the first 3 seconds of a greeting, a woman will tell you exactly how much she wants you without ever opening her mouth. Most men, nearly 93%, according to recent behavioral studies, are completely deaf to this silent language. They walk away from a woman who was practically screaming her attraction through a simple hey, and they have absolutely no clue that the door was wide open. They spend weeks overanalyzing text messages and looking for grand confessions, completely missing the fact that the real truth leaked out before she even had time to put her social mask back on. Today, I'm going to expose the hidden mechanics of the female greeting, the involuntary pitch shifts, the preening rituals, and the subtle physical anchors that a woman only uses for a man she is genuinely crazy about. I'm not talking about being polite or friendly. I'm talking about the primal, neurological triggers of deep attraction. If you understand these signals, you will never have to guess where you stand again. But I need to warn you, the final signal I'm going to share is the most misunderstood of them all. It's the greeting where she does almost nothing, and most men mistake it for total disinterest, when in reality, it's the sign that she's already falling for you. If you want to master the art of reading women before they even speak, you need to hear every second of this. To understand why the greeting is the ultimate polygraph test, you have to understand the preparation phase. Attraction doesn't start when you stand face to face. It starts the moment she spots you from across the room. If a woman is into you, the second her eyes lock onto you, her body enters what psychologists call preening mode. You'll see her suddenly straighten her posture, adjust her clothes, or touch her hair. This isn't vanity. It's a biological reflex. Dr. Monica Moore's research at Webster University confirmed that these subtle adjustments are among the most reliable indicators of courtship intent in human history. Women do not fix themselves up. For men, they feel nothing for. If she doesn't care, she won't even register your presence in her peripheral vision. But if she's interested, her nervous system sends a look alive signal to her entire body. The next time you walk toward a woman, watch her hands. If they fly to her necklace, her earrings, or her hair the moment she sees you, she has already greeted you with her desire before you've even said a word. Once you are within speaking distance, the next major leak happens in her vocal cords. This is a fascinating piece of evolutionary biology. Women unconsciously raise the pitch of their voice when speaking to a man they find highly attractive. It's a phenomenon called vocal pitch modulation. Our vocal cords literally betray our internal state. If you notice that her hello sounds slightly more melodic, higher, or more animated when she talks to you compared to how she greets other men in the room, that is her biology waving a giant red flag of attraction. She isn't choosing to sound like that. Her brain is releasing a cocktail of neurochemicals that physically affects her vocal tension. You are the variable that is changing her chemistry. If she sounds like a firecracker with you, but like a flat, bored monotone with everyone else, you already have your answer. Nature has a very specific way of making attraction loud, even when the words are quiet. Then there is the full name anchor. This is a subtle but deeply intentional psychological move. When a woman greets you using your full first name, not a nickname, not a generic hey man, but your actual name spoken with warmth, she is creating a bridge of intimacy. Of hearing our own name activates unique regions in the brain associated with identity and social reward. Women instinctively understand that saying a man's name creates a personal bond. It tells you that you've been on her mind and she's been replaying that name in her head. Intention is everything in female psychology. A generic greeting is a shield. A name-based greeting is an invitation. She is signaling that she sees you as an individual, not just another face in the crowd. But the real test of her feelings happens during the physical contact phase, specifically the hug. There's a universe of difference between a social hug and an attraction hug. A social hug is quick, surface level, and over in less than 2 seconds. But when a woman is crazy about you, the hug lasts just a fraction longer, what researchers call the extra beat. That half second of lingering contact triggers a massive release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. If she stays in your space just a moment longer than is polite, it's because her body is physically reluctant to let you go. And pay attention to her hands during that hug. Friends pat, but women who want you press. If her palms are flat against your back and she gives you a brief, firm squeeze before pulling away, she is communicating a depth of desire that no just friends interaction would ever require. This leads into the tactile testing that often happens during a greeting. If she walks up to you and finds an excuse to touch your arm, fix your collar, or playfully push your shoulder, she is breaking the touch barrier on purpose. Women are extremely deliberate about physical contact. According to research from DePaul University, touch is the most powerful nonverbal cue for attraction, even more than eye contact. She is testing your haptic response. She wants to see how you react to her touch, because your response tells her if the door to intimacy is open or shut. Most men miss this because they think she's just touchy-feely. But women don't risk physical touch with men they are indifferent about. Every accidental brush against your wrist or hand on your chest is a deliberate probe into your emotional availability. You also have to watch the Duchenne smile. Not all smiles are the same. A polite social smile only moves the mouth, but a genuine smile of attraction moves the entire face, especially the muscles around the eyes. If her face lights up the moment she spots you, creating those tiny crinkles at the corners of her eyes and lifting her cheeks, that is an involuntary expression of joy. Her brain just received a hit of dopamine at the sight of you, and her face is simply reflecting that internal fireworks show. Compare that smile to the one she gives the waiter or a casual acquaintance. If yours is bigger, brighter, and reaches her eyes every single time, then her body is telling the truth that her mouth might still be too shy to say. Then there is the selectivity of memory greeting. She doesn't just say hello, she immediately references a small, mundane detail you told her weeks ago. How was that specific meal you mentioned? Or did you ever fix that thing at your house? This is a massive green flag. It proves that her brain has allocated selective storage space for you. We don't remember the boring details of people we don't care about. If she is holding on to your small stories and bringing them up the moment she sees you, it means you have been living in her head rent-free. She is showing you that she was listening. And for a woman, listening is a form of emotional investment. Sometimes her greeting will be playfully provocative. She might walk up and give you a sarcastic jab or a playful insult. Most men take this personally and think she doesn't like them. But in female psychology, playful teasing is a way to test compatibility and establish a safe flirt. It's an invitation to play. Patient. She is seeing if you have the confidence to handle her personality and tease her back. Politeness is for strangers. Teasing is for people we want to be close to. If she walks up with a smirk and a verbal jab, she isn't attacking you. She is handing you a ball and asking you to play the game of chemistry. However, the most powerful signal, the one that confuses almost every man, is the quiet greeting. If a woman is deeply, seriously attracted to you, not just casually interested, but actually falling, she might get scared. The stakes feel too high for her to be bubbly or playful. So she becomes unusually quiet or reserved. She might struggle to make eye contact or give you a soft, almost shy hello. This is proximity anxiety. Her heart rate is spiking, her palms might be sweating, and her brain is in full flight or fight mode because standing in front of you feels overwhelming. If she is a firecracker with everyone else but a quiet candle with you, do not write her off as uninterested. That contrast is the key. You are the only person in the room who has the power to make her nervous, and that only happens when someone matters deeply. Bringing all of this together, you have to realize that a woman's greeting is a narrative. From her preening as you approach to the pitch of her voice and the way she lingers in a hug, she is telling a story of attraction. Patterns don't lie. If you see 2 or 3 of these signals happening consistently, it is not a coincidence. It is a confession. The real tragedy in dating isn't that women are hard to read, it's that most men were never taught the alphabet of her behavior. Now that you have this knowledge, your only job is to be a noticer. Pay attention to the first 3 seconds. Watch her eyes, her hands, and the shift in her energy. Give yourself that window of awareness, and you will start seeing invitations where you used to see nothing. But as revealing as a greeting is, it is only the surface. There is an even more powerful signal that goes beyond a hello, one that involves a specific, almost instinctive physical invitation. If a woman lets you touch one particular part of her body without pulling away, a place that has nothing to do with what most men think, it means she has already decided that you are hers. Most men miss this green light entirely, even when it's staring them in the face. I've broken down that ultimate chosen signal in my next video. If you combine what you've learned today about the silent language of greetings with the knowledge of that specific physical invitation, you will never be confused about a woman's intent again. That video is on your screen right now. Click it because the signals she is sending you today have an expiration date, and I don't want you to be the man who figured it out one day too late.